Hello and welcome to This Is Wine. I am your host, Travis Helwig. Thank you so much for joining us. We're back. I'm back in my home. I'm no longer dying of something that felt like COVID, but was not COVID. And I'm so excited to be doing this again. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, the whole premise of this show revolves around the fact that I don't know anything about wine, but that I'm in situations in which I'm supposed to know about wine. And it makes me feel bad. And I'm trying to learn about wine in a way that maybe you will eventually learn about wine as well. So far, I've learned certain things, and I've learned certain things that I don't know, but I keep being taught, like what's a tannin or why my nostrils don't work. So we are so excited to start. Before we do, I just want to say, and I say this at the top of the show, and I never say it again, this costs a couple $100 a week to make. If you want to help me keep making it, if you're enjoying it, please subscribe. I get a little bit of money from that. And if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription. You just press the button and then I get a little bit of money. It goes a long way. I want to keep doing this. I won't do that again because I hate it. So first up, I'm going to bring on our guests because we have an incredible group of guests today. I saw a snake a few minutes ago. It was very scary, but we can thank you, Alam Mased, for the sub. We don't have to get into the snake. Let's just drink some wine, huh? First, I'll bring on my good friend. She's a TV writer. I've known her for a couple years now. We text about a lot of things that we couldn't talk about publicly. Please welcome to the show, Kara Brown. Kara, welcome.
Hello. If the texts ever get leaked, it's all over for us.
Look, I have two-factor on. Come for me. No, please don't. Please don't.
Please God, don't. And this is the end of our careers. No.
Yeah, exactly. Kara, do you drink wine? Thank you, S. Hanner, for the sub. That's very nice of you. Kara, do you drink wine? Do you like wine? What's your relationship to wine? Does it make you feel good or bad?
My wine makes me feel good. My relationship to wine is sort of like a long-term college hookup where you see them frequently, you enjoy it, but it's probably, you don't go too deep,
Yeah. It makes you happy. Thank you, fan of Tug Helwig, for the sub. There was another one I didn't say. I'm not going to say them all if you're going to do it while Kara's talking. That makes sense. I feel like it's something that is always around me. And I usually just order what the person before me ordered, is what I'll say.
Yeah. I feel like the pandemic helped me get a little closer to wine. So now I just know more types of white wine because that's usually what I'm drinking. So I really just know like 3 other different ways of like, just give me a white wine that goes down real easy.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, let's bring on our other guests. He is also a writer. You know him from College Humor. He does a lot of stuff with Dungeons and Dragons. He didn't tell me to mention that, but I love that stuff. So please welcome Zac Oyama. Zac, thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, Travis, Kara. Thank you for having me. I can't wait to be a part of this text thread. Find out what you're getting canceled for.
You'll be the first to know, I promise, Zac.
Oh, I love it.
Zac, what's your relationship to wine? Do you drink it? Do you like it? Is it something that I don't even feel like I watch you. Are you a drinker even?
I do like to drink. I feel funny saying that. I've always been more of a beer drinker and more of a cheap bad beer drinker. Have drunk way more wine in the last 5 years than I have before that. Probably way more around the holidays and things. I feel like if other people are having wine, I'm more than happy to like have some, but I'm usually not like, I feel like a little less confident in ordering it. And, thank God for this show and we can learn a little bit.
That's exactly how I felt. And honestly, the first time we did this show, we had the same wine expert that we have on that I'm about to introduce, Miriam, and she gave me a few things that I've asked for now every time I've been in a wine bar, which is I just say Beaujolais, and then they kind of get what I'm going for. And then I know that what we drank wasn't a Beaujolais, but I'm like, it's in the wheelhouse. So I'll bring her on now. She is the owner and operator of genuinely my favorite liquor store in Los Angeles. It's very cool. It's downtown. It's called Flask and Field. Thank you, everybody, for your subs. It's called Flask and Field downtown at the Row. Please welcome my good friend, who I've known for a month now, Miriam Yoo.
Hey,
Miriam.
guys, how are you?
Hello.
We're doing great.
Yay.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about Flask and Field, and then let's drink some wine.
I am Miriam. As you said, I am the owner of a little wine and spirit shop downtown called Flask and Field. We're going into our third year, if you're counting last year as a year. So we're still a fairly baby company, but I think people have definitely been drinking during the pandemic, and so it sort of just thrust everything into overdrive. Like, how do you operate a business when you're not open on the inside, but your orders are coming in, and now you're an e-com business and none of us have any e-com experience. So it's been crazy, but I feel like we're on the other side now. We're gearing up to open the inside again this summer, like June. So yeah, we're just
amazing.
We're just trying to stay sane and keep the business going, keep the dream
I'm
alive.
so happy that your business is still alive. And also, one of our commenters while you're talking said that they got their bottle there. So
yay.
Everybody loves Flask and Field. So why don't you tell us about this wine, and then tell us when we can drink it, because that's my favorite part of the show.
Yes. So Mark told me it was France month, so I had to pick a wine from France. So luckily, we really love like old world wines, which is just wines from Europe. Everywhere else is considered New World, because they've sort of always been sort of pioneers of organic wine, right? Like they're like, why would you put shit in the wine in the first place? It's not like LA where we're like, it's a trend. They have too much pride in their vineyards. And so they just weren't spraying chemical pesticides just cause, but weren't marketing it as such. So, we love pet nats. They're super refreshing.
What does that mean? What's a pet nat?
So a pet nat is short for pétillant naturel, which is a style of sparkling wine.
Okay.
And word has it that it's actually the oldest style of sparkling wine, predating even champagne.
Oh, wow.
And it's a style that's fun because with champagne, that you sort of start with a still wine and then you add yeast and sugar to create a second fermentation. With this, you're just starting, you don't add any sugar or yeast. And so you're just using the natural yeast that occurs in the vineyard and the cellar. And there's just one fermentation. So while the fermentation is happening, they bottle it, it traps the CO2, which creates the bubbles. So it's sort of like, if you think about like, I don't know, I think if you're like a champagne snob, you might see this as a real like,
I am.
Quick, like a quick, it's sort of like a shortcut method, but really it's the OG method. And it doesn't involve adding like sugar and commercial yeast. And so, with this movement towards, not adding artificial ingredients and using just what is sort of naturally occurring in the vineyards, it's become cool again. It's very Portlandia. It's a return to the roots of like probably the first sparkling wine that might have been created on accident. This one is very strawberries and cream for us. Like it's dry, but you'll notice it's full of flavor. So it's full of like fruit, cranberries, strawberries. And the thing I love about Pet Nat the most is that it has like a very little bubbles that are like kind of I'm sorry, I'm gonna say creamy again, but
Hell yeah.
they clock as creamy on the palate, which is nice, right? It's like a smooth sort of buttery texture as opposed to this like harsh stinging sensation that you might get when there's like a lot of carbonation, a lot of CO2.
Should we try it? Should we smell
Yeah,
it?
so
What
if
should we
you-
do?
if
Oh,
anyone
can I
hasn't opened it,
ask a
you can-
question before we try?
Yes.
So I have two different glasses. One is bigger, one's a little smaller.
Oh, this
and
is
I
gonna
wasn't sure
play.
which one to use for rosé.
Well, I would actually use. I would.
It's
look
a
the
pet
same
nap,
size.
dummy.
Zach,
Oh, excuse me, a pen nap.
you can use whichever one makes you happier. That's That's the first one. But if you want to be like a little bit more proper about it, I would use the littler one just because of the bubbles. But they're quite similar, Zach. We're not talking about a champagne flute and a Bordeaux glass. Like they're very similar. So.
Oh
I
yes,
have a question. I have a logistical question.
Yes.
Should I hold my glass like an asshole like Travis, or can I just hold it regularly?
Okay, so
Let me handle this, Miriam, because you taught me this. You taught me this.
I think
my
I
first
know.
week.
I'm warming up the wine, aren't I? Like when you hold it there.
That's what she taught me. She said, but she also said that if you correct anyone on it, you're an asshole that sucks.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this is if you don't want to warm up your wine, you hold it like this. But if you tell someone how to do it, you should go to hell.
And if you
Is that
really
right,
don't
Miriam?
want friends, if you really want no friends, hold it like this.
Oh. What
This
if
is
I
how I'm
drink
gonna
it fast
drink it.
enough?
Okay,
where
I'm
it
gonna
doesn't
try
get
it.
cold?
Cheers.
Oh yeah, cheers. Good idea, Zach.
Clink,
Woo.
clink, clink.
I feel like I drank my wine fast enough where it doesn't matter if I'm warming it or not.
Yes, Kara. I think that
So-
if it's super cold, like on a wine like this, like I kept this in the fridge like overnight. I just I'm not precious about temperature, probably to a fault. I like it cold, and so if you're what I don't love are like huge pours, because I feel like when someone fills your wine like to the rim, I feel like it really inhibits you from getting those aromas, just getting that perfect serving size. If you're ordering by the glass at a restaurant and someone tops you off, that's okay. That's like the waiter being cool because you're just paying for whatever. But if you order a bottle and they pour you that way, you got to say something.
Oh, that's why they pour so little when you get a bottle.
Yes.
I thought they were trying to trick me into thinking that the bottle could last longer.
This is one of those bigger bottles of wine.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like,
Now-
it's just a portion. It's sort of like, I think the way your brain processes like the flavor and taste of it. And you can like collect more, not that you're like being all intense when you're at dinner and you're like sniffing it and like and swirling it with each taste, but
You don't know me.
the glass, it's sort of a good cheat is like it should never, this glass is weird, but it should never go sort of beyond where the glass curves. So like Kara, your glass is weird like mine, but like you'll notice like on Travis's, for example, like if it's going above the curve, then you sort of, it's like an over pour. It's like a big pour and it can start affecting the way you experience it. So that's just something to, again, if you want
the experience is important to me. Yeah.
If you want to pour it to the rim, and that makes you happy, then, by all means do it. But if, you're having a classy dinner, then maybe you can just try portion control, because if you get the whole bottle, it's yours.
This is the thing. There's a thing you can pay things and then I have to drink and tell you what I taste. And I've yet to. Okay, I'll tell you what I taste. Also, and then I want Miriam to answer Zubabe's question about the grapes after I do this. But 1 second. Whenever I drink carbonated wine, I'm like, I taste bubbles. You know what I'm getting? I'm getting. I want to say creamy, but I won't. It's very smooth. and it's got a hint of sourness, but it's not sour, if that makes sense. Is that anything, Miriam?
No.
Tart isn't tart a more palatable word
Yeah,
than sour?
Yes, I think that if you, and by the way, you can say like Sour Patch Kids. Like, I need more from you, Travis.
Okay.
I need you to be more
hold on.
like sour how.
I want to say kombucha.
Okay, that's
Is that?
we will allow that.
Thank you.
Can say
Sour Patch
kombucha.
Kids. Sour Patch Kids.
I have a question about. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead,
for
Zach.
it.
Go ahead, Zach.
So, like you said that this fermentation process doesn't use sugar and yeast, right? It's something else.
It uses its natural sugars and yeast. So with
Gotcha.
champagne, you start with a still wine that's already made. It's a complete still wine. Then you add yeast and sugar and let it create a second fermentation in the bottle. And that's just like a really specific way you have to do it for it to be considered champagne. You also have to grow it in the Champagne region, of course. So it's just really rigid. With pet nats, you can use any variety you want, which makes it fun because you're not limited to things that are allowed to be grown in the Champagne region. Also, the type of people that are enjoying pet nats, it is a different just sort of group in general that are like obsessed with only drinking champagne from the Champagne region. So there is this sort of like freedom with like,
and those are bad people. We don't like them.
To be clear, they're bad people.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but I think it's fun for winemakers, and it's definitely fun for wine drinkers to just experiment with different styles of pet nat in different regions. So yes, so with pet nat, you have, while the wine is fermenting, they bottle it. And so it traps the CO2, which creates bubbles. With still wine, you would have it be fermented and then you'd bottle it. So there's no trapped CO2 creating bubbles. And so it's just a really fun, easy way to get bubbles.
Okay, so this is another thing where someone paid for you to immediately answer their question. So this is the question.
Ooh.
What's the deal? I mean, we love it. It's amazing.
I love a Lambrusco.
Yeah, we love a Lambrusco. I think it's gotten a bad rap for being like, I think with a lot of wines that entered the US market, people thought of it as like a low quality wine because perhaps there was some low quality wines being brought into the US market or created here in the US where it's like sweet, sparkly wine. But in Italy, Lambrusco is not seen as like a low quality wine at all. It is such a fun, refreshing wine to have with dessert. I love Lambrusco even with dinner because a lot of the wines that are considered off dry or sweet in Europe to our palates, they're actually like not even that sweet. There are people that drink this wine and think that and clock it as sweet because they're tasting all sorts of red fruit and like maybe some ripe fruits or tart fruit or bubblegummy flavors or things like that. But
grapefruit,
the sugar is actually low. So I don't know. Lambrusco is making a comeback. I mean, we love it. It is, we have a Lambrusco that we get from a really small organic producer that we cannot keep in stock. It's so delicious. It's super smooth. It's super balanced. It goes well with cheese and charcuterie or with dessert. I don't know. I'm a fan.
I've introduced some friends to Lambrusco and it made me seem very cool.
Well,
and like, I knew exactly what the fuck was going on because I was like, have you tried a Lambrusco? And they were like, what's that? I'm like, oh, and then I give it to them and they love it. And I'm like, I don't know anything beyond that. This is a Lambrusco. So I can't help you with any follow-up questions. I just know that I like this chilled, sparkly red wine.
Yes. And it's super, I think the thing with Lambrusco is there's a lot of like soil, earth, dirt notes that are really pleasant. So like these are like a wine like this rosé. It's very like, I think of it as like very top notes. So I'm up here And then like El Lambrusco, you're more of like a guitar, you know, you're more down here as a violin, guitar, right? So it's like there are these more like bass notes and
This is a
earthy
flute.
tones that are really nice. They're really nice.
I can't wait to say everything you just said later to people who aren't here.
At the end of the show, I make you repeat it back to her, and she has to tell you that you're wrong.
Damn it.
Zach or
I won't
Kara,
remember
are you tasting anything? What are you tasting? Give us a real wine snob taste.
Strawberry, which feels obvious, and I feel like I'm cheating because I know you already said it, but I tasted a lot of strawberry. Lemon.
I taste lemon
That's
too.
smart.
Oh, okay.
I do. I sort of get like almost like a strawberry lemonade vibe because you remember earlier
Yeah.
I said tart. It is
Yeah.
that sort of really summery tart, lemony thing. So I agree with that.
Yeah.
That sounds like what I would have said, but also I'll throw out raspberries. Is raspberries?
Yes, Zach,
Oh, yeah.
raspberries.
I was wrong.
Could that be right?
The only wrong answer is sour, which was Travis.
God damn it. God
Yeah.
damn it.
I have a dumb question. So when they're making champagne, so they make this wine and then they like ferment it. If you just drank that wine before they ferment it, would that be good?
Yeah, I think so. They're starting with like a base of like probably some fancy French wine that comes from
Okay.
a really exclusive vineyard. Yeah, so it's like they're already starting from a base of a wine that is delicious, and then they're like,
Okay.
and that's part. You know, it's expensive because of the sort of the marketing. It's like a specific region. So like you and I can't make champagne in, you know, the city of Vernon. You have to make it in this specific region. And as you can guess, there are families that already have ownership or.
Are you saying French people are snob? No, you're not saying that. That can't be what you're saying.
No. I went to France once, and this is my favorite story from France, which is that I hadn't had a good croissant since I got there.
A croissant?
A croissant. And so I woke up, I have trouble sleeping. And so my wife was asleep, and I left the Airbnb, and I was like, I'll go find, I'll get us coffee and get us pastries. And I went, and I did, and I brought it back, and I was eating it, and I was like, oh, this is so good. I can't believe how much better this is. And then I looked at the bag it was in, and it said, Le Pain Quotidien. I had went straight up to a Le Pain Quotidien. I was like, oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so much better here.
Crumbles.
Travis.
It sounds like you were jet lagged, which seems normal.
Yeah.
It sounds
No,
like
this was late in my trip. This was fully
you're
like
just on South Beverly Drive, Travis. Maybe were you on?
I was.
Yeah, were you even in
I'm
France?
sorry. France means 40 minutes west, right?
I actually spent a month in Paris, and the only thing I was saying in French, because as soon as you start to try French in Paris, they're like, I'm gonna just speak to you idiots in English. But I was like, I could do my croissant order, and they wouldn't question me. But that's all I could order. I couldn't order coffee. I could just get the croissant, and then we could do the whole thing in French. But I only said one word in French. So a month in Paris, that's what I got.
In college, I tried to go on a trip to spring break, tried to go to England and France, and we got to the airport, and as I was handing someone my passport, I realized my passport was expired by 3 weeks, I had to just turn around. But eventually went to a passport authority, got a new passport, and met my friends in France. I surprised them at Notre Dame.
Oh, wow.
No, R.I.P.
Had a big newspaper.
R.I.P.
And then you set it on fire, you monster.
Yeah, it was a slow burn.
I am very much enjoying this. I don't normally like a carbonated wine. It always feels like the carbonation is a little bit overwhelming. I won't drink champagne, but this feels very drinkable.
You won't drink champagne?
I will have a glass of champagne tonight because HBO Max's Hacks premieres tonight, which we'll all be watching immediately following this, my wife's show. But I would never drink more than one glass of champagne. I remember in high school, on New Year's, I chugged champagne so fast that it came out both my mouth and my nose at the same time. It was great.
That probably wasn't champagne, also.
It was whatever they sold at the shitty place that would sell me a
Andre
17-year-old.
doesn't count, does it?
Yeah.
The Andre
I
Valley.
feel like there's so much pressure to enjoy champagne, and I'm not gonna knock it, but I feel like, now that we're in this place where we're sort of questioning everything in our entire lives and all aspects
UFOs
of our
are real.
lives, let's
Yeah.
add that to the list. Like, look, if you enjoy it, like, enjoy it. It's just such a really specific thing to feel a lot of pressure to enjoy. And like, we had a very expensive bottle of champagne with our friends the other weekend.
Congratulations.
Yeah, well, thank you. But I have to say, I mean, we taste a lot of champagne, we drink a lot of wine. I want to be like, and I noticed like every nuance in the vintage. But like at the end of the day, like it was great, it was good, and it was layered and all those things. But I also, even saying this, like I feel pressure to like say that it was layered and complex when we just wanted to drink martinis at the end of the day. It's like I have a cap, like there's a law of diminishing returns on my ability to enjoy sparkling wine. And so like if you give me $1,000 bottle of champagne, like I just can't enjoy it the way you need me to enjoy it.
Exactly.
For the amount of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
can I ask you a question about expensive wine in the same way? Like I feel like, and this is me being completely not knowledgeable on this. I feel like you can taste the difference between like a $10 bottle and a $30 bottle, but I don't know if I can taste the difference between a $30 bottle and a very expensive bottle in the times that I've done
Sure.
it. You find that there is like the price actually matters in any real way? What should we look for when we're buying like in a store?
I think
like say Flask and Field.
Yeah, I think that the only store we're all shopping. No, I think
that's where I get my toilet paper. It's my Amazon.
I think it just depends, right? Like if there's an occasion, right? Like if I'm trying to impress Kara and it's like her 30th
good luck.
No.
And it's her 30th birthday. Or like a landmark, right? Like she, a new show that she's worked on, or
she's
film,
22.
Travis, because she also writes for film, which you didn't mention earlier.
She does not write for film. She wants to write for film, and there's a difference.
Let's manifest
There's a difference,
Let's
Miriam.
Manifest it.
I'm gonna CC Travis on my contracts from now on. With just a middle finger.
I would love to be your manager, Kara. I feel like I like you so much. I feel like I could do a good job being your manager. So
Kara,
if it ever doesn't work out,
no.
Okay.
No.
You're next. You're next.
I have no attention to detail. Sorry, Miriam, keep going.
No. I think that if you're trying to impress someone, right, with like a moment, or especially if it's someone that works in the entertainment industry, works in business, then I get that you want to get the thing that has the cachet, right? So like the Brunello di Montalcino or whatever that is, same with champagne, because it is from a specific region, it is necessarily expensive because there are very strict rules and guidelines about how you produce it and who can produce it. And so there's just a finite amount of it. But I think that's changing in that like the new sort of cool and the new capital isn't just sending a bottle of Cristal to someone. It is finding that really small, tiny micro batch producer that's producing organic, biodynamic wines that are like good for the environment, that like care about the environment, and also taste really good. And there's only like 500 cases of it. Like that, I think, is what we're trying to establish as like really cool in like trying to express your taste to someone.
Now,
feels more thoughtful.
rather than these like big houses, like these big established houses. Which, can you imagine the history, like the racist history of these?
I was going to say,
houses?
Jay-Z already told us Cristal is racist.
Yes.
So we haven't been drinking that for a while.
Yeah.
And that's why I love it, baby. Love Cristal.
And Travis,
Looks like
Sorry,
it's
Miriam,
time
you
for
can't make fun of
to
me. Mark's here.
interrupt. It's wine o'clock somewhere, everybody.
Eat shit,
That's
Mark.
right.
We hate you, Mark. We want you to
Here's-
die.
It's Mark, your booch-loving producer, here to interrupt whatever
Fuck
the
you.
fuck you were talking about.
Fuck
To
you.
play
We're
a
talking about racism.
fun
We're talking about
game.
racism, you piece of shit.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
Okay, well,
Everyone's like, you know what? Someone other than me and Travis is going to get canceled tonight.
Mm.
good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get canceled.
I feel like the
Tonight,
Noid
everybody-
just got here.
Yeah, the Noid is here. Yeah.
That's me. I'm the Noid. What a
Fuck you.
very
Get outta
timely
here.
reference, Zach. Everyone in the audience loves the Avoid the
You guys
Noid
remember it?
campaign from the 80s. I'm here to get everybody off of their dramatic asses and start playing some fun games with a little game I like to call Real or Fake Vivino Reviews.
Don't want to play.
Okay, Miriam, are you familiar with Vivino.com?
I am.
Zach and Kara, do you know what Vivino is?
I sometimes get there on accident, so kind of.
I assume it's like Venmo just for wine, though.
It's it's close. It's Yelp for wine. Okay, it's
Got it.
just
Makes more
wine
sense.
reviews.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do in this game today is, let's just say there are a lot of people on Vivino who have some very strong opinions about wine, and
look,
I.
Mark, before you go on, there's a chance Vivino maybe one day wants to sponsor us. So just be chill. Just be chill.
And let me just say, Vivino, let me just go ahead and say, Vivino is an excellent product, and we
Yes.
love Vivino wines, and we love the service they're providing to people across this country. And I
Wow,
think
good
the way
point,
that
Mark.
they rate users is A+. Give it up for Vivino, the app, and the company. Back to the game.
Oh,
Okay, somebody clip that so that we can get a sponsorship, please.
I
And
don't want to
so
lose
what
any more
I've
money.
got,
Keep going.
I'm going to show you a wine, and then I'm going to show you 2 reviews of that wine. And it's up to you all to tell me which review is real and which one I wrote to trick you. Are you ready?
No.
Mhm. I'm completely ready.
Okay, and Seigi, can you get the polls ready, because the audience is playing too, and whoever wins gets a special prize. Are we ready? Here we go.
Hey,
How
Miriam,
do I raise my hand or?
No, I'll just call. Each of you will
Got
will vote. We'll go in order, and I'll change the order every time. Okay, so
I've
here
had
we
a lot
go.
of this wine already. Got it. Okay.
So, also, I just want to point out it was very, very difficult to find bad reviews, because everybody who rates wines online gives them at least a 3. It's impossible to find bad reviews, but I found some. So this is for Coastal Estates Merlot from 2018 from Boulot Vineyard. Here are your reviews. Oh, Lord, forgive my ass, but I can't drink this shit. Lord, help me, but I poured this shit down the sink to give it back to the soil and earth. That's 1 star from GG, 269 ratings. Or fruity on the attack, arsenic on the finish. I gagged. Refused to even use the bottle as a vase. Do not buy. That's from Virginia Tyrone, 16 ratings. Sorry, my cat just hit the damn button. So which one do you think it is?
Who goes
Which one
first,
is
Mark?
which one is the fake?
Yeah, which one's real? Which one's fake? Miriam, you go first. And also, Seigi, can you pull up a poll for everybody?
I think that Gigi is fake. I think that Virginia Tyrone is a very specific name for you to make up, and that review is so funny. I don't know if I think that you could have written this in the small time that you
Yeah, because
had,
you
so-
suck, Mark.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Travis. I appreciate you. Sorry, everybody. Butterpie is very much involved in my computer right now, so the presentation goes forward. Okay, so Miriam votes for Gigi being the fake one, Virginia Tyrone being the real one. Zach.
Well, hey, you can call me Sherlock Holmes because Gigi's definitely fake because the review's from 2014 and the wine's from 2018.
Oh!
Well, let me just also point out.
Zach, you're a genius. Zach,
Okay, Zach.
God.
he's the new producer of this show.
Yeah, he
Oh
gets
my
Mark's
God,
job.
That's okay.
You
No,
get
no,
Mark's
that's okay.
job.
Okay, Kara, what do you think?
Well, I think Gigi is fake, obviously.
I should have
Travis?
kept that to myself.
I'm going to go with Virginia Tyrone is fake.
Well, I have news for all ya. Travis is the only one who gets a point, and the
No,
audience
Miriam got it
as
right, too.
well. No, didn't Miriam say that Gigi was fake?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
Gigi was the real one.
What?
As you can see here, there's a badge that says 2009 vintage. So it was a review of an earlier
okay.
wine. So Zach, don't try to get in there and commentate on my Photoshop skills. Step off.
Be nice
All
to
right,
our guest,
all
Mark,
right.
you monster.
I
So
think it's
Travis
good.
is in a commanding lead with 1 point.
Yes. I
Wow.
lost so
So
bad
the
last
intensity
time.
of coming back at 2014 to comment specifically on a specific 2009 vintage of a $6.95 wine is very
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. Okay, here we go.
That said, the people at Vivino, it means the world to me that they love the show. They've never
Yes,
said
Travis.
that they love the show. But I just want to say I love Vivino.
Yes, I just want to go ahead and say Vivino is an excellent product, and we think that everything they do is wonderful. And if you download Vivino right now, you'll get no benefit from us, but you'll be a good person. Okay,
Yeah.
moving on to your next Vivino review. This is from Jacobs Creek Cabernet Sauvignon 2011, a $7.99 bottle, 2.9 average rating after 1,206 ratings.
That's so
Here-
bad.
Here are your reviews. Jacob, I think you forgot your paddle. I don't know what you think you're selling, but the nectar of Bacchus is not it. What public school heathens could enjoy this? I know not. Oliver Dudman,
Wow.
497 ratings. Versus,
That's real classist, sir.
oh dear, absolutely abysmal. Bouquet, if I can call it that. More like insecticide, clearly aimed at people who are not even mildly knowledgeable about wine.
That's
I bought it
me.
at my local supermarket here in China. Nice looking label to attract the punters. A 1 is generous. Avoid. That's Andrew Russell, 55
Punters?
ratings. Travis?
Hunters. Okay, I think I have a good guess, and I'm confident in my guess. But I will say, I think it's Oliver Dudman is the fake one. One, because I think it's very classist, and I think that Mark, you have a rose in your Twitter bio, so I know that you think about class a lot. And I also don't know what punters means, and I don't think Mark knows what punters means. So I'm going to vote for Oliver Dudman being the fake one.
Okay.
Mark's gone. Zach, you're next.
Zach, you're next. No, I was getting my DSA hat.
I've
Oh, yeah.
lost my.
Mark is a
private
Echo Park
investigator.
neighborhood council member, just so everybody knows.
That's true. I am the chief information officer of the Echo Park Neighborhood Council.
Amazing. Well, I've lost. I mean, I'm questioning every instinct I have after last round. But I will agree that I think it's Bacchus because my local supermarket here in China is one of the stranger sentences to make up. And if you did make it up, amazing. But I think Oliver Dudman's fake.
Okay, is Kara?
Okay, here's the thing. Andrew Russell, so that means it'd be a white person in China. So I guess they would say some shit like I'm in China as opposed to like the actual area that they're in. So because white people are terrible, I feel like that's the
Yeah, Andrew Russell, no one cares that you're in China, man.
yeah. Also, who says they're in all of China? An enormous you're in China?
My
Where in
local
China are
supermarket
you?
in China.
That's
Yeah,
just
that's
very
insane.
it's very Caucasian. So
I love
that
buying
feels-
this wine from my local supermarket in the United States of America.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Miriam, what do you
that
think?
feels right.
I'm gonna go Oliver Dudman fake.
Oliver Dudman fake. Okay. Well, let me just say, you were all right. You caught me in my lie. The audience and all of you, I was a little too heavy-handed on the classist language, and I'll learn for next time. For reference, I went to college with a guy named Oliver Dudman, and I just found out he donated over $1,000 to my school, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you fucking? Who's donating to schools?
Not producing a wine show. That's what he's certainly not doing.
Yeah, he's not 31 and a half and $30,000 in student loan debt. Here we go. All right, Travis is still in a commanding lead with 2. The audience and everybody else has 1 point. So the order stays the same. This is a Lindemans Bin 99 Pinot Noir from 2019, $5.95 a bottle, 3 stars, 3.2 stars after 229 ratings. Which is real? Wine? Nay. This is swill, flat, muddled, baffling to the nose, a poor effort from a poor estate. I wouldn't serve this to my assassin. R. Booth, 36 ratings.
My assassin?
Still tasting the cooking wines at 1 a.m. This is Plonk, obviously, but what bad Plonk it is. Earthy? The nose is a mix of adhesive, rubber, and mold. It's bad, not drinkable. From Vincent Vaquera, 246 ratings. Travis.
Oh my God, I go first again?
Yeah, because you're in a commanding lead.
Fuck, this is hard, man. Okay, the assassin thing throws me, but so does Plonk. I'm
What
gonna
does that
vote
mean?
for. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna vote for Vincent Vaquera being fake because Plonk feels like a thing a Vegent would come up with.
Zach? For the record, Travis does know every single member of my family.
They're all weird, guys. Every one of them is weird.
All right, I'm trying to put my little weird detective cap back on. I wouldn't serve this to my assassin. If I were having to write these, I wouldn't serve this to my assassin. At this point, I'm like, come up with a name. I don't know. Assassin, John Wilkes Booth, R. Booth. R. Booth is fake.
Oh,
Kara?
wow. I think I wouldn't serve this to my assassin feels writerly. So that feels a little fake to me.
Okay, Miriam.
Yeah.
I have to agree. I don't know if you know what Plonk is, so I am going to say that now that I feel like I know your voice a little bit, Mark, I think that our Booth, I think you wrote our Booth. I think you are our Booth.
Okay, before you tell us, Mark, does Plonk mean something, Miriam?
It's just like a slang for like low quality wine.
Oh,
Okay.
he doesn't know that.
Okay, Mark, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, I fucked up. I fucked up. Everybody in the audience called out Zach. You were so right. It's like Booth, assassin. That's it. Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, so now everybody's tied with Travis. So Travis, you don't go first anymore, and
I did my best.
I'm gonna make Kara go first next time.
Oh no.
Okay, here we go.
I'm on burp number 4 from this wine. Burp number
$2.50. What? There's no way wine costs that much money.
That's the average. This is Oak Leaf Sauvignon Blanc from 2008, 3.3 after 84 ratings.
Seems
Kara,
clear.
which one is real? Yo, for $3, can you even complain? Like, seriously, you're buying wine at Walmart. Don't talk to me about your superior palate. 5 out of 5. Would buy when wallet running low and supposed to cook the girlfriend dinner. Haha, OMG, JK. Just opened it and had a sip and poured it down the drain. This is awful. Tyler,
That's a full
11
movie.
ratings.
That's a full
I love a
movie.
journey. I love a
Versus,
journey.
fuck man, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'd rather have Kirkland brand wine RN shit. That's from Sammy, 11 ratings. Kara.
Can I say I grew up in Kirkland, so fuck you, Sammy. Wow. Tyler really took me on a journey. For some reason, I went on that journey with him. I'm here. I believe him. Tyler, you are real to me.
Okay. Zach, how are you feeling?
I feel similarly. Like, I can't live in a world where Tyler's fake. Like, I love to imagine Tyler's going in on people on Vivino.com, just combative, just picking fights left and right. So I want Tyler to be real. So therefore, I'm voting for Tyler.
Okay, Miriam.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. I mean, the 1993 vintage written in 2015 is so intense. So I'm gonna go. Sammy is fake.
Okay. And Travis.
So everyone so far thinks Sammy is
So
fake.
now he's gonna play strategy. He's just gonna.
So
Everybody
pick
thinks
the other one.
Sammy is fake,
I think
including the
Tyler-
audience.
I think Tyler is fake. I think Tyler is fake because I think the structure of it is too good for a Vivino wine review. And I think 1993 vintage is truly too funny for somebody who comments this long on Vivino. So I think.
Can't you just imagine Tyler just going into a store no one's been into in 25 years and finding a dusty old bottle of Oak Leaf?
Also, I fuck with Tyler. You know what? Who among us hasn't taken a yellowtail and said, you know what? For tonight, this is going to work for me. This is where I'm at. This is what I need. This is what I'm doing. Tyler, whether you're real or not, I'm with you.
I don't fuck with Tyler because he's a full-on fake person. I vote for Tyler.
Before we do that, redemption has happened. Travis, you have to make a toast to the fan of Tug Hellwig has asked a man if he's free twice this week, and they've said no to fan of Tug Hellwig. So, Travis?
I just want to make a toast to the person who said they were not free twice this week. The thing that you should know about them is that they were free and they're just being rude. And you're better than them, fan of Tug Hellwig, because want to know why? You're a fan of someone that literally no one is. And so I know you're a good person. And so you're better than them. And I hope that the person you asked out is sad forever. So cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Fan of Tug Hellwig, you're great. Okay, back to the game. You all saw through my bullshit except for Travis. Tyler was correct.
Yes.
Now, Tyler.
That's funny.
This is a ridiculous. This one was ridiculous for me. There's only 2 left, and so far everybody is tied, including the audience, except for Travis, who's in the basement. So Travis,
shout out to Tyler, guys.
Tyler,
let's find him. Let's find Tyler. Mark,
yeah, you gotta bring Tyler on the show. Yeah.
I will bring up Tyler's account when we're done with the game, and we can figure that out. We have just 2 quick more questions.
Kara, Tyler is a movie writer. Now that's a movie writer.
We call them features, Travis. You fucking
I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know that. Excuse me.
Zach, you're going up first here.
Okay.
We're looking at Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi.
That's TV. I don't. Yeah, so you don't understand what a movie is, right?
I'm sorry. Have you heard of?
Is that TV? Is that TV?
Have you heard of
TV.
Ellen DeGeneres? Ellen DeGeneres, a universally beloved woman. Have you heard of Ellen DeGeneres?
Wait, what does Zach have?
I've heard of Ellen.
It's just my Peabody. It's just my Peabody. I'm just gonna put it down here. Wait, what?
Okay,
Travis,
Zach.
is that your wife's Emmy?
No, these are 2 daytime Emmys from Ellen DeGeneres. Literally from Ellen DeGeneres, a person the world knows is very bad.
I just had to zoom in on Miriam's face, just like not giving you that time at all. All right, Zach, this is for Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi, Malbec 2016.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
Samuel Doesn't Like Wine by MCCBUC McBook.
Who's Samuel?
Versus to enjoy this wine, think of the words of Queen Victoria, close your eyes and think of England. That's Joshua
God.
E. Edgerton, 2,644 ratings.
Okay.
One of these is real?
One of these is real.
What? So wait, where is Samuel's not a name anywhere on here, right? Outside of the comment that says Samuel doesn't like wine, and then Joshua Edgerton. I think Samuel doesn't like wine is real because it doesn't make any sense, and I think Mick Buck is a person who's looking, maybe like a stalker looking into a window, obsessed with someone named Samuel. And that's sort of the narrative I'm coming up with.
Okay, so you think that Samuel's real. Kara.
I think Samuel is real. I'm not going to explain further.
Okay. Miriam.
I think that, yeah, I think that Joshua E. Edgerton is real.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Travis?
McBuck Samuel is real. I think Joshua is fake.
Okay. Survey says Samuel doesn't like wine. It was just one of the most absurd things. So now it is a three-way tie for first place between Zach, Kara, and the audience. We have one question left. I don't have a tiebreaker. I'll come up with
Hold
it.
on. If I win, can I have Travis's Emmy?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
one.
Yeah, I think so.
My fully canceled Emmy. Yeah, you can have it.
Great.
But that is, in its own way, a really beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we have one more. And by the way, all of the fake names, just for everybody watching who's saying that I made up all of these names out of whole cloth, these are all people who donated to my college, and I'm just very furious that they would do.
Do you just have a list of that?
Yeah. How do you know who donate? Where did you go to college?
It's reunion.
Mark?
It's reunion this year. So we got an email
Oh.
saying everybody who donated. I went to Cornell, where a lot of rich
Yeah.
people went.
I was waiting for you to fucking say the name of Cornell, you piece of shit.
I'm
You
not.
piece of fucking shit.
I
Who gives a
went.
shit, Mark?
I didn't want to go there.
Ithaca is beautiful.
I didn't wanna go
especially,
there.
fall.
So they were.
Ithaca is
so they're all-
gorgeous.
It
They're
is
donating
beautiful.
their parents' money. That's
That's
their
true.
parents' money
This
they're
is true. Yes, this is correct.
Is
None
there
of
a
them
worse
actually earned
Ivy?
anything.
Is there a worse Ivy, Mark?
I think so.
know.
I think so.
Miriam,
Well,
what's
Which
yours?
one, Miriam? Which
Defend
one?
me. Defend my
Did
honor.
you go to Cornell as well?
No, but my sister went to a school called Schenectady, or Union College in Schenectady, and I used to visit her all the time, and she played tennis against Cornell, and we had to go to Ithaca, and it's really lovely. I mean, people are it feels like they're minding their own business and just
They have
surrounded
to. There's no one else there.
What are they going to do?
What else are they gonna do?
You're either going to do nothing or commit suicide. That's the Ithaca way.
Yes. That's unfortunately. I went there. I'm not. We'll move right on. Cornell is generally looked upon as the worst Ivy, except
What
their
could be
engineering.
worse?
Dartmouth.
What could be? Dartmouth is cool.
Fuck Dartmouth. Last question. They're all bad. Go to a school that just teaches you the thing you want. Was that the last one?
Wow, real Mark.
And Mark, is
Wow.
this the thing you want?
You want us to talk about Cornell for the rest of the show, Mark?
We'll do it.
You know what? I have a lot of things to talk about with my therapist now. I didn't realize that I ran out with such a tie. I'll be back.
Does this mean I get the Emmy?
Yeah.
Mark is viciously Googling Vivino wine reviews right now to try to get a tiebreaker. How's everybody feeling about the wine? We feeling good? Is anyone in the chat enjoying a similar wine? I want to know what you guys think. But I'm enjoying it. I normally don't like bubbly wine.
It will.
I drank a lot
It
of
gets
this
you
one.
fucked up, especially if
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
you guys aren't having any snacks. And it's what time is it? It's like it's almost 7 in LA.
Haven't had dinner.
Haven't had dinner.
Mhm.
Just drinking my dinner.
And so it does sort of float. The bubbles get to your bloodstream faster.
I feel like my whole
don't
face is
Google
red.
it. That's just what I think. And so it gets you there. But it is nice if you have a snack or like before dinner. It's like an appetite inducer. So like, maybe we should all order pizzas. Maybe
Okay.
Travis, you send us all pizzas after this.
Oh yeah.
I'm already going to send you all Cristal, my favorite racist champagne.
Yeah, I really like this. And we were talking about champagne earlier. I got married in October, and everybody we knew sent us a
Congratulations.
bottle of champagne. Thank you. That's what I was searching for.
Yeah. Congrats. Zach.
Everybody sent us bottles of champagne, which was cool. But then we just had so much of it, and we're just kind of like, just
You know what
had
you
it
should
around.
do? This is what you do. You make a big Popeyes order. You order a ton of Popeyes.
Ooh.
You do fried chicken, champagne. It's like
That sounds
here's
great.
That actually sounds
fried-
really
fried-
good.
Fried chicken and champagne is like even like the nerdiest of wine nerds that are making like psychotic reviews on Vivino love champagne and fried chicken. They just love each other.
I've
They
never
go
had them
together.
together.
It's
Oh,
you
I
gotta
had
do
fried
it.
chicken right
Is it the
before
salt?
this.
That's such a good idea. When my wife and I eloped in Vegas.
Wait, you're married?
I am married, Kara. That's what our DMs are about, or our texts are about, where we cancel.
It felt like Kara was more like someone married you, Travis.
Yeah.
You got married.
Yeah, I did, and they love my 2 canceled daytime Emmys. Okay, no, but when we did it, we told a few friends, and all of them called the hotel to give us gifts, and the hotel recommended the same gift to all of them, which was the same bottle of champagne and chocolate covered strawberries. So we had 4 orders of champagne we didn't want, and chocolate covered strawberries, which is good for like 3 strawberries. You don't want that
4
many.
orders of that. You want about 46 of those.
Yeah.
So our whole fucking hotel room was full of chocolate covered strawberries and champagne, whatever champagne they had at the beautiful, where were we? I forget where we stayed.
Travis,
That's
Where did you elope?
Travis, tonight when you're having your champagne and celebrating your wife's new show, Hack, will you give a toast to celebrate both of your new shows?
Yes, because this is just as beautiful.
Steal her thunder. Travis, definitely steal her thunder on perhaps the most important moment of her professional
Be like,
career.
both of us are
Yeah,
celebrating.
definitely
something
do that.
so important and big.
You want to
Both
stay married,
have
right?
both.
Definitely do
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Take about
Look,
10 to
I
15.
know, I know the whole cast of the show Hacks is here, and I just want to say thank you so much for supporting This Is Wine on twitch.tv.
Okay, I've come up with a
God damn it.
tiebreaker. Okay, the tiebreaker is this is
Truly impressively fast.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, I do a lot of. I usually prepare too much, and for this is actually something Travis and I talked about earlier today. I was like, I only prepared 5 questions because I always over prepare. And anyways, I had a backlog. Who can guess what this means? That will be the tiebreaker. It's between Zac, Kara, and the audience. And if somebody in the audience speaks German, that doesn't count. So it's Zac. and
Mark, you
Kara.
have to read it out loud.
I'm going to say it out loud. Tror den godmad Drebersnegel eller son Meiergrift med elden Garweisjer Foge.
Did they make
If
good
it's-
wine in Germany? By the way?
Everybody
Yes.
in the audience is just like,
No.
that's not German.
Travis, you're
What the
wrong.
fuck it is?
All that
Miriam
they have
says
in
they do
Germany
make good
is
wine.
MDMA and leather
Make good
jackets.
wine in Germany.
You're
And it's
wrong,
good.
Miriam.
It's good.
Okay.
Riesling. It's called Riesling. Okay, Zac,
Oh, yeah.
what do you think this means?
I think this means Shorten Godmode. I think that means like, you know how there's that like kind of clip on TikTok where this kid goes like, that's X Games mode. And when people do impressive stuff, I think there's a version of that, but like God mode. And they're like, I thought this wine was going to be going God mode, but it turns out it's Draber's
Schneegel.
Schneegel.
Draber.
I can Google this, right?
And it's like a
No.
Meyer,
Kara,
a
you
Meyer
can't-
gift.
Uh,
It's a Meyer gift, which is like a swamp gift, a gift for swamps. So I wouldn't even take it to the grave. Fuck out of here, John. So I think that's the end of it.
So can you say that all at once? Because I'm kind of drunk already.
Yeah. Turns out this isn't God mode. In fact, this would be better served as a gift for a swamp. I wouldn't even take this to the grave. Fuck out of here, John. That's what the end
Okay.
means.
Okay, Kara, that was pretty good, Zac.
That
What do
was
you
really
think?
good.
guys, I've drank a lot of this wine. I can't stress
Mhm.
that enough.
Mhm.
Like this is how much of this wine I've had. Can I fold? Is like poker?
You want to just fold?
I gotta fold. I can't.
The Emmys. Get the Emmy.
I'm gonna get that
Honestly?
Emmy one. Listen. I'm gonna get that Emmy one way or another from Travis. So this game is
How dare you.
one way in, but I'll get it.
They're daytime
I don't know.
Emmys. They don't count.
It's a good. I don't listen, man. Germany. I don't know.
You full on panicked. You full on panicked. Okay, well,
No, I don't know.
I gotta say, okay, Dedrion is saying it's Danish. Okay,
Are
like
you
the Tosh
kidding?
says, maybe Shrek can enjoy this wine, but not I.
Get out
I
of my
like
swamp,
that.
as he says.
It's Danish.
Lepidopterane said, guess someone brought this swill over for a summer dinner with friends and everyone regretted drinking it. FML.
FOJ
Fuck out of
is
here,
a clue.
John. Pretty close to
FOJ is a clue.
This wine is so bad that I couldn't even regift it to my in-laws. Okay, here is what Google Translate told me. Think it's good against killer snails or as ant poison with all that tannic acid. And then I don't,
Wow.
the FOJ just says add. But Zach, since
Fuck
you're
outta
the
here,
only
John.
one who guessed, you win. You get to promote something. You get 30 seconds of unadulterated full screen time.
Look, there's only one thing to promote today, and I would have to say it's HBO Max's Hacks. Starring Travis Helwig, written by Travis's friends and family. I'm very excited to watch it tonight. That's God. I didn't really want to promote it. I guess that's all. I'll say I have a podcast on Patreon called Rotating Heroes Podcast, which, as Travis said at the very beginning, it's a D&D thing with funny people playing D&D, and that's all I got. Cheers!
Wow, thank you so much. Great work out there. I also just want to pull up. I was able to pull up Tyler Carlin's profile.
Tyler, call me.
Is he hot? Show us his photo. If he's hot.
Obviously
No.
hot, Zach.
But there's his girlfriend that he talked about, so it all tracks.
Yeah, this is good. Mark, can we just get Tyler on the next episode?
Yeah, Mark.
I will.
Hey, Mark.
I will. Yeah, Travis.
Hey, Mark. It would mean a lot to me as I'm your boss. If you can get Tyler Carlin on the next show.
All right, I'll get Tyler Carlin on the next show.
This is the lineup: Tyler, Carlin, and Ellen. That's the next show.
I gotta say though,
we
Travis,
couldn't get Ellen. We got Twitch. Her DJ.
Ellen is Tacavale. You can get her.
Yeah.
She's got nothing going on. I will say, in her interview with the Hollywood Reporter, no one commented on it, but she said, I'm like a Ferrari in neutral. And I just want to say, that's a crazy thing for a human to say about themselves.
What does that mean?
It means she's really good and she's coasting right now.
I kind of get
okay.
it. I kind of
You
get
know
it.
what? You know what? Great. That means the next thing Ellen does, it better be fucking incredible, Ellen.
She's gonna be going 200 miles an hour down the street.
Yeah.
The other quote from that article that no one pulled that I loved is she was like, I'm too drunk now because I signed an NDA, so no one clipped this. She said in that article, she was like, look, I just need to do something that I really care about. Like, I like a lot of things. I like animals. I like the environment. I like furniture. Three equally important things: animals, the environment, and furniture.
Can I tell
Whatever.
you?
Furniture conservation.
This is my last Ellen thing. There was some clip where like her wife turned 50 or some shit, and she bought her like a gorilla zoo or a gorilla sanctuary or whatever the fuck. And it was so much money. And like, listen, this will probably, like, I get it, animals are important, but people matter more. And I was like, the idea of giving all of that money to a sanctuary that's probably fine. Like, they seemed fine. And instead of like helping tangibly, I don't know, queer homeless youth in Los Angeles, I don't know, the innumerable amount of people who actively could have used that money, and you're gonna give all of this money to the fucking gorillas. They don't know you. What are we doing? Why, Ellen?
Let's have a little fun today.
Yeah. Does she own it now? Does she own a gorilla
Yes, she does. She gifted it to her partner for her partner's birthday.
Her birthday.
So,
She's like, here's a bunch of gorillas.
It's like a
Incredible.
gorilla sanctuary.
Whatever. Gorillas are cool. Fine. Whatever.
We get it.
I want to shout out two things before I pivot. I want to shout out Vivino, the Vivino app. I love you. I think you're so cool. If you don't have the Vivino app, you are not allowed to watch the show. And also, Ellen DeGeneres, please don't sue me. I know I broke an NDA moments ago, so please don't
Your
sue me.
NDA says you can't talk about the three things she said in an interview.
NDAs,
No.
NDAs aren't really real.
I know. You know. Well, I also am friends with still some people there, but look, we don't need to get into this.
Yeah, never mind.
Let's pivot to the end of the show. They can't take one of. I sent one to my parents. I have 3 total because they just give them to Ellen. There's no good shows on daytime, so they just give Ellen Emmys. And I always say that 4 daytime Emmys is equal to 1 primetime, and I only have 3. So
go back for the final season.
So when your wife wins an Emmy for Hack, it's gonna be
Hacks on HBO Max comes out tonight. Everybody's got to watch it after this. It's genuinely very good. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. You're gonna love it. I'm gonna pivot now to the end of the show, which is we end every show the same way. Which is we all have to decide if we were just hanging out at home watching Hacks on HBO Max out tonight.
Sure.
And we just wanted to relax. We didn't want to think about what we were drinking. We just wanted to chill. Oh, wait. Miriam has to answer a question.
Oh, no. This is so violent. What's happening?
Which wine is analogous to an IPA?
Oh.
That's a tough question.
There's some like really stank. I mean, I guess it depends on the IPA, but there's some really like stank ass, hoppy, spicy, funky wines. I mean, I would say, which wine is it? I mean, to me, it would be a natural wine. It would probably be carbonated. So it'd be like basically the white wine version of the wine we're drinking. So instead of a rosé, like a white pet nat.
They make that? A white pet nat?
Yeah, Travis. That's what we're going to be talking about in the next episode.
I haven't invited you back yet, Miriam. So don't fucking count your chickens before they roost, baby. You're always invited back. You're the coolest person I know. So we're just chilling. We're watching Hacks on HBO Max. First 2 episodes this week. Every week, 2 episodes. Gene Smart. Hannah Einbinder. I would like to continue doing this and not have to worry about money. So as we're doing that, you have a choice. You have a choice, Kara.
Yes.
Well, no, we'll go to Miriam first because we know what Miriam's going to say. I think.
Okay.
You're enjoying a comedy, a prestige comedy on HBO Max. Do you enjoy this wine, or do you enjoy a Miller High Life?
I grew up in Oklahoma, so I've had plenty of Miller High Life. Like, don't get it wrong, but where I am right now in this point in my life, I would have to choose
Le Bout de Facteur.
The Bout de Facteur.
Great. Everybody's got to say the full name of the wine when they choose. So we got one for Le Bout de Facteur. Kara, you're watching Hacks on HBO Max out tonight. 2 episodes. Gene Smart, Hannah Einbinder, Meg Stelter's in there. We got Caitlin Olsen. Are you enjoying a Miller High Life or a Le Bout de Facteur?
First of all, great format. That 2 episodes, great programming decision. I'm gonna have La Boule de Facture.
Yay!
Because obviously, because I've already drank most of the bottle. So
I think that's fair, Zac. Now I want to say, Zac, as we pivot to you, we've realized that people are scared to say in front of the wine expert that they would choose the Miller High Life. And so normally we would normally bring in the embodiment of Miller High Life. He's not here today, but he's here occasionally to promote Miller High Life. I want you to know that if you go against Miriam, I won't hold it against you. You're watching
Okay.
Hacks on HBO Max out tonight. Do you drink the Le Beurre de Facteur or do you drink the Miller High Life?
Gosh, well, similarly to Miriam, I'm from Alabama. I'm from Birmingham. I went to college in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I went to the University of Alabama, where people just drink horrible trash beer all
Roll
day.
Tide. Roll Tide, baby.
RTR, dude. I still drink just the lightest, just trashiest beer to this day, pretty constantly. Not constantly. I don't have a problem with it. But all of that said, I gotta go to La Boule de Facteur Rosé. And I'm sorry to High Life. And I'm sorry to High Life.
And I mean, I think that's Zach's truth.
And
I
Miriam,
believe you.
I will say that when we started this episode and I had the first sip of this, I said, I trust Miriam enough. I'm going to tell her I like Miller High Life more than this. And
you want to ruffle some feathers. You want to.
well, I like to be the center of attention. I like to mess things up. You know, I'm the bad boy of Twitch. That's what they always say about me. I'm the bad boy of Twitch. But as we have gone on, this is my third glass of this. I will say, I have come to find this incredibly delightful. And I think if I were to sit down at this very moment and watch 2 episodes of Hacks on HBO Max starring Gene Smart, Hannah Einbinder, co-created by Paul W. Downs, Lucia Agnello, Jen Statsky, the minds behind Broad City and Parks and Rec and Good Place, I would choose the Le Beurre de Facteur. I truly would. My Le Beurre de Facteur has fully taken over, and I love this wine now. And I was not sure at first because of the bubbles, and it's so easy to drink. You're right; it makes your face feel. I feel I feel high right now.
You can't feel your face.
Yeah, exactly. I feel numb.
I want like
feel
5
my face
burgers.
when I'm
I want 1,000 burgers right now.
You actually feel like Kara was feeling earlier when she couldn't actually feel her face.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
I'm going to tune in real quick to say, first of all, I would highly prefer this wine to a Miller High Life. But Miriam, I have held back the entire show. People in the audience have been clamoring to talk about your top. So let's talk about your top.
Mark, you already know it's a dress because I showed it to you in full earlier.
I called it a top because I thought that top might be applicable to both shirt and dress.
As you can see.
Ooh, nice.
Cool.
And then
Very
I
cool.
don't know.
Is this vintage? Is it vintage?
No, it's not, Kara.
Like Franklin and Bash. My favorite show.
And Ash. Okay.
There you go.
I don't do vintage either, Miriam. I don't have the patience. So I asked that because I thought, cool people do vintage shopping. You're very cool.
If I could redo this whole evening, I would have told you it was vintage and just left it there, but I couldn't go back. So here we are. But thank you, Mark.
Of course. I just needed to make sure that the audience knew people were literally adding me, making sure that
people are gagging.
People are gagging.
Gagging.
I do want to just say for everyone in the chat, we did have a conversation about her dress beforehand, so I apologize for calling it a top. I thought that was a synonym for dress or shirt. My mistake.
You did?
What are you? Are you new to Earth? Are you new to Earth, Mark?
Actually, Mark, can we
classic Noid?
Can we unpack?
Yeah.
That?
So
I just
thought dress was synonym for shirt.
You thought top and dress were the same thing?
Mark, go on.
Did they teach you that at Cornell, you piece of shit?
Yeah, actually, okay. I do want to say, when I was at Cornell University, my professor of organic chemistry told me that top is a word that is synonymous with shirt and dress.
And honestly, Mark, that explains so much about you. In general, like it just sort of informs.
And that's an Ivy?
All about you, who
And
you
that's
are.
an Ivy.
I want to go ahead and just say that Okay.
that you're not allowed to be in DSA if you went to Cornell. Those two things are not allowed to exist. You can't be a democratic socialist with a rose in your bio and went to Cornell. They don't compute, Mark. Tell everybody in DSA you went to Cornell.
I will. I'd be happy to. If we want to get into this now, I can defend myself earnestly, but I don't think that's what you actually want me to do. So I'm just going to leave.
I do not want. So here's how we're going to end the show. Normally, I give a toast where I say a few things about each person, but I genuinely have had such a fun time tonight that I don't remember much at all. What I will say is I'm going to go through each of you. You're welcome to promote anything you want to promote to end this show. And then we'll call it an evening. But Kara, is there anything you want to plug before we end?
I think I'm just going to plug Hacks. We got a women-led comedy, 2 ladies. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it after this. I assume there are a couple men in it, but I'm sure they aren't funny. And
they're queer.
Yeah, okay. That'll count. I'm promoting your show, which has been very fun. I'm now drunk at 7:17 and I have nowhere to go. So thank you for that. Just gonna be home alone all night, a little drunk while I watch Hacks. And I'm shout out to smart people making TV. Shout out to because it's for real, not
shout out to
making
smart people. Shout out to smart people, everyone.
Smart people making TV, Travis.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what I said.
Okay.
A compliment. So that's my plug.
Thank you, Kara. I'm sorry for interrupting you. I'm drunk as well, and that's why I'm being obnoxious. Zach, do you have anything you want to promote?
And
please don't say Hacks on HBO Max.
I'll just say, to piggyback off of that, sometimes smart people make horrible TV. And so it's nice to have smart people making a show that I would like to watch. So excited to have something to watch. Also, I'm gonna plug Flask and Field because I remembered the name when I got the wine sent to our house, and I was like, why do I remember this? We got a very nice wedding gift from there. Some very cool glasses, I think, for making cocktails and stuff. And so that's my plug. How about that? Miriam, I can't wait to see what you will plug.
I would like to plug Hacks.
No,
I would like to
promote your fucking store. There was just a pandemic.
We all have a gun. We all have guns. We all have bombs in our rooms that are set off. Where if we don't promote Hacks, Travis has the button and he'll set off the bombs in our house.
Travis, I'm gonna.
That's what's happening.
Okay, Travis, I'm gonna.
We love it. We love it.
I signed that thing that you made me sign, and I don't want to get in trouble. But I practiced entertainment law for 9 years, as you know, Travis.
Oh, wow.
And so all of this talk is very triggering for me. But I do know of the talents of Paul Downs and Lucia Aniello and some Jen Statsky. So I'm so excited for you being married to someone that's so talented and that is that is
too sincere, Miriam.
And so you can do this because she does that. And so I actually want to give a shout out to your wife, who is such a talented writer. And your house looks lovely just from the 2 photos in the back. Your house is fucking lit, and it's because of your wife. And so, that bookshelf, Kara, that bookshelf.
That's a nice bookshelf. That's a nice bookshelf.
And so I just want to say, and yes, we saw your Ellen Emmy.
Travis, put that Emmy. Put that Emmy. When Jen wins an Emmy for this show, it can't be next to your Ellen Emmy.
Yes,
you have to put it somewhere else.
It has to be a different room. You have to have respect. Okay. Yes.
What is that?
It's
a Golden Globe.
Yeah, we love the Hollywood Foreign Press in this home. Everything they do is good. I fucked this up.
Oh, wow.
I just messed this up. I'm going to have to fix
Send
it.
it back, Travis. See if Tom Cruise will take it with his batch and send it back.
I also just want to say thank you to Zach. Thank you to Kara. I already told Kara this before we got on, but I've been obsessed with her since her Keep It days, and she has inspired me to read more and to just be more awake and conscious and to speak out about things that are important to me and not be asleep at the wheel. So, Kara, I miss hearing your voice, but
oh my gosh. Listen, I will come and bother you in real life at your store,
Kara, please do.
and you'll regret it. I'll just show up. I won't stop talking, and you'll wish it was a podcast you could press pause on.
And I'm gonna plug Flask and Field because she was too cool to do it herself. I am a very big fan of Miriam's. She is so cool, and obviously, as you guys know, so educational. Every time we do this, I literally knew Flask and Field and would go to it often. Before the show ever happened. So thank you to Miriam for doing this. I want to say, and you know what I also want to plug? I want to plug Kara. She knows a lot about books.
Let's just plug Kara.
And I want to plug Zach's podcast, Rotating Heroes, which I am literally, it's the only Patreon I subscribe to is Zach's Patreon.
That's too kind. That's honestly too kind.
And I play Dungeons and Dragons with Zach, and he has made me laugh more than anyone I've ever met. So
that's
to
no way.
my new friends, I just want to say this was so fun. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for watching. Next week we have 2 shows. We have a show on Tuesday, which is a makeup show with Emily Favreau and Brody Gupta.
I'm going to crash that. I'm going to crash Emily's
show. Kara, do you want to come on? We have extra bottles.
I'm just going to roll up at their home because I know where they live, which was a mistake on their part. And I'm just going to show up behind Emily. And
They live so close to Eric Garcetti. I feel bad for how many protests they have at their house.
They really do.
Shout out to Eric Garcetti, a piece of shit.
But what if he wants to sponsor Travis?
Oh, okay, sorry. I love Eric Garcetti. Everything Eric Garcetti does is good, and I think it's
Let's
cool.
see if he has a Vivino profile.
I think it's cool that the police have more. Like, I think 100. No, it's something like 300% more than any other department. That rules. A Cabernet, which was from Miriam's first episode, the merch you're going to make. So thank you so much for watching. Mark, do you have anything you want to promote before we go? Please, for the love of God, do not bring up Cornell. I'm begging you to not bring up Cornell.
Okay, so first of all, I would never do that. I literally went on a rampage talking about how donating it to it would be horrible. I'm here to talk about Vivino.com, the greatest app that's on the App Store and on Android. You could rate wines of all kinds. Even my cat Butterpie likes Vivino. Vivino, what a wonderful app. We love you, and everybody at This Is Wine wants your money and support. So thank you. And that's all from me. Thank you, Trey.
Thank you so much, Mark. Look, we need to figure out a way to make money so we can still do this. So if anyone knows how we can make money, let us know. And I will just say, this has been so much fun. I love doing the show so much. It means so much that people watch this all the way through. Like, truly crazy to me that people watch and buy the wine. So thank you for watching. Thank you for buying the wine. If you want to buy the wine for the 2 shows next week, where we have Brody Gupta and Emily Favreau, and then the following show, I believe, is Priyanka and Jason Concepcion. Please.
You commented earlier, I saw.
Yeah, Jason Concepcion is in the chat, who Miriam met last time we did the show. Please go to thisiswine.wine to see what we are drinking. And
this is wine.wine?
This is wine.wine. Kara, it's one of the best made websites you will ever see. So please check out thisiswine.wine if you like.
It's the best website.
I do want to say I added from the last or from the show that we had John Lovett on. Which one was that? Number 3?
Yeah, the one where I hated that show. I felt so uncomfortable the whole show.
I prepared a bit for that show, and people in the audience requested it. If you look on thisiswine.wine, there is an Easter egg. You can find the game I made for that show. It's hidden on the site. If you go to thisiswine.wine, search around, you'll find a little text adventure that I wrote for that show.
I can't believe
I ran into Lovett at Starbucks last week.
Was he the one ordering that really long coffee drink that went viral? All right. So thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe if you can. It helps us keep doing the show. Thank you to Kara and to Zac and to most of all Miriam, who gave us her time and her wine. We love Flask and Field. We love Miriam. Everybody for watching. Cheers. We'll see you on Tuesday and Thursday next week. I love you all. God bless. Dab.
Pink, dab.